Hello, hello. Nicole Giddens here with the Women's Empowerment segment at Edge Radio TV Network. I'm the health and fitness expert here, and I have my co-host, Brooke White, survivor expert and entrepreneur extraordinaire. Today we have a very special guest, celebrity chef Paul Friedman. He's an amazing individual. He's got a lot of stuff going on. So today we're going to do a Men of the Month segment. So once a month I always like to highlight men. Women are very important, but men are too. And there's a lot of issues that we both need to talk about.
Yep.
But before we begin, I've got a little teaser here. So I've got some questions that I'm going to be asking you, Paul, and you, Brooke.
Wonderful.
So let's see if you guys know a little bit of something about each other.
Oh.
Okay, so this is 5 things that men can't get about women. You guys try to guess them.
No, the first one's everything.
I mean, what they can't get, like about us?
like they just can't figure it out. Like,
Oh.
I can't get that they.
When they say, "Oh, okay, that's fine," they think it's fine.
Number 1 is playing hard to get.
Oh, okay.
They don't
yeah.
get that. Can you see that?
I can, definitely.
Have you had a lot of
yes.
women do that to you?
Yes, it's very difficult.
Is it
very
annoying?
difficult.
It's annoying, but can be real challenging. Yeah,
Well, and men like to chase, so we almost have to do it on purpose, right?
I don't do it, so I don't know. I don't know.
Okay, guess what the second one is?
Well, there's definitely an emotional side to it. Which is,
Yes, you cheated.
Yeah.
You
Well,
totally cheated.
No, how am I
That's
cheating?
number 2 on here.
Oh, it
He
is?
saw it. He
Oh, well,
saw
that's
it.
pretty good.
Yeah, you're good.
How
Yeah,
emotional
okay.
women are.
Yeah.
Men just don't
well,
get it. They're
y'all
like,
don't get that.
pull it together.
They don't get it.
Yeah.
Okay, what's the next one?
Wow.
This one's a little superficial.
Does he know how to cook?
Do you care if a man knows how to cook?
Do I care?
Uh-huh.
Yeah.
Really?
Yes. Yeah, because I don't want to cook and clean.
Well, I just made that one up because of, being a chef and all. It's not
I mean, you're a chef, so you better know how to cook.
Well, I think
You
women
do
like
that.
that. They really do.
Well,
Yeah,
they go
I think
after
so.
you because of that.
Oh, well,
so of course
okay.
you're going to get that. The probability is there.
Yeah, but that's not on your list, so.
No, number 3 is they take forever to get ready.
Oh, about us?
yes.
I don't.
Okay,
See, I'm
of
not
course.
on that list because I don't take forever. I don't think. I'm ready, like quick.
I could take about 45 minutes.
That's forever.
That's not that long. How long do you take?
Like 20, 30 minutes, maybe.
Really?
Yeah.
Damn.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Wow.
Next one. What do y'all think it is?
I would say that there is, always having to put so much makeup on and to make yourself look better than you think you really are.
That's taking forever to get ready. You're still
Well,
in the same category.
whatever. Then,
But you don't like that they overdo it? You think some
yes,
women
I think
overdo
they overdo
it?
it. Yes, I
Oh,
think
some
they
people.
do.
Mhm.
Yeah.
Definitely.
Yeah, my husband hates it when I wear makeup. He thinks he
But
hates it
you
when I wear
don't
makeup.
overdo it.
Oh, well, it's necessary.
Well, you see, that's the point. We don't
No,
think so.
it's
We don't think
not.
so. You know?
No, it's
I mean,
definitely
like
not, because you've never seen it. They don't like when women complain about presents. They act like they don't want them, then they want them, or when they get them, they don't like what they were bought for them.
Indecisive.
People
thing.
complain
Mhm.
about presents. I'm confused.
That's what it says. It's number 4, the presents. Although I've done that for my husband's bought me flowers before, and I don't waste your money on flowers. And then he never bought me flowers for like 2 years. And I'm like,
And then why don't you buy me flowers anymore? Yes.
I'm like, they just
Yes,
die.
I get it.
They
Yeah,
just
And so
yeah.
he stopped buying me
Well,
flowers.
duh.
I'm like, why don't you buy me flowers?
Get it. All right.
All right, number 5. And I think this is more men, but it's number 5 on here.
Wow.
Or driving.
Oh,
I can drive,
that's
so
good. That's
I'm
good.
not on
Yeah.
that.
Yeah.
I don't know about that. I've rode with you before. I definitely put my seatbelt on.
If you are not first, you are last, and I'm trying to get somewhere. So
It's like GPS, 15 minutes. Okay, game on.
challenge
Yeah.
accepted.
Men feel that women have double standards.
How so?
Like I just don't understand you.
Like,
Like,
I mean, it's
you're
confusing.
I can do more than cook and clean. I can work too, but then they want a man to take care of them.
oh, I don't
okay.
get that either.
Isn't it? It's so hard these days.
I don't do that, so I don't get it.
Yeah.
Okay, 5 things that women can't figure out about men.
If they're listening when you're
Ooh,
talking.
yeah.
That is kind of one
That's
of
good.
them.
Mhm.
Yeah.
It
We
says
don't
that
know.
how they zone out and think about nothing.
Yeah.
How do y'all do that? Do you
Well,
do
it's not
that?
like we're zoning out. It's just like, we're into sports and all that kind of stuff, and you're into combing hair and stuff like that.
No, we're not necessarily watching sports, but
No,
I'll be talking to my
no,
husband
men
and you're
are.
like,
You
I'm
ask me-
zoning out.
Yeah,
Let me zone out. I'm like, it's a form of meditation.
we're not zoning
That's
out.
a skill.
No,
Yeah.
we're multitasking.
Okay, what's another one?
That we don't get about them.
When we're telling a story, what don't they need? And we don't get it. We give them plenty of it.
When we're telling a story, information. They don't need any details.
Details.
Details. Oh,
They don't need
yeah.
any. They don't care.
Just brush
Well,
the whole
You're not
middle
mad
of the
about what
story,
you're
they
mad
don't
about.
need it.
well, women are way more intellectual than men are. So
Thank you.
I
It's sad
have
to
to
be
agree
said.
with that. Yeah.
What's another thing that baffles us about you guys?
Well, we don't have the intuitiveness that you have. There's something about women that we were never given because you took some ribs out of us.
Oh, we
You
took the
know?
rib. Here we
He's
go.
snowing us
Here
right
we
now.
go.
He's snowing us. He knows this is a women's empowerment segment.
Here we go.
What we don't get is how you can beat each other up and then still be friends.
Oh,
like 5
I will
minutes
never
later.
understand that one.
Hmm.
You guys are weird like that.
Have
Yeah.
you ever done that?
Have you ever beat one of your friends up?
In the boxing ring, yeah, a few times.
Only was it a challenge you've never got into a fight with a friend and then afterwards shook hands?
Not really.
Really?
Honestly, no. No. Mm-mm. Maybe on the rugby
I
field.
think he's lying.
Maybe on the rugby field, but not.
Oh
not
yeah,
with it,
yeah, that's right. You're a rugby player.
Wow.
Okay, how they can be infatuated about a woman one day and then care less about her the next.
That's true.
Yeah, but they weren't infatuated.
Yeah, it was.
I mean,
They
they
can just
were.
let
Yeah.
it go.
Yeah,
They can get over heartbreak a lot
Yeah.
easier than women can.
because you
Because
know
they
what?
didn't really care as much in the beginning.
Yeah, well, they're looking at the physical aspect. And
Yes.
that's the problem, and then it's very easily just let go because, like, oh, you were so attractive, but I really don't know anything about you, and now that I've spent an hour with you, I really don't like you.
Well, there it is,
There
y'all.
it is, right?
Which leads to one of the topics of conversation that I wanted to talk about today, because there's some Me Too movements going on. We had a guest last week where she had a lawsuit against a company, but there's also Me Too movements going on against men. And I think it's
Mhm.
because you guys get so physically attracted at first, and so they get a bad rap.
Yes.
And some women take that to their advantage.
Absolutely.
You know, there's a
Mhm.
lot out there, and there's some crazy chicks that really give us a bad rap.
A total
you know?
bad rap.
What do
I
you think
agree.
about that?
Well, this is a really sensitive topic to talk about. I mean, myself being in the hospitality industry,
Mhm.
right? I'm always in front of people, and if being in the restaurant industry is even worse because
Yeah.
people go out for their birthdays and so on. So I have like what I think is a gift of hospitality. So I like to hug people. Hug them when they have a happy birthday. I hug women. I hug men.
Yeah.
But the thing that you have to be very careful nowadays, especially in my business, is because you don't really know what people have gone through, especially women.
It's
And
true.
mostly women have, at some point in their life, been abused one way or the other.
Mhm.
And can you just imagine if you were abused sexually by your father? How do you even think about that?
Right.
Or your school teacher, or whatever it might be,
Or your
right?
neighbor,
The
your
figure
brother,
of authority
yeah.
does that to you, and then you have this. It's just. It's impossible for a guy to
misconception.
understand, right?
Right.
And so I might hug you and not realize that you've been through this, and I might have squeezed you a little harder, and maybe your boobs touched my chest,
Yes.
and I didn't realize that I was offending you in a sexual way.
Because you don't
I was
know.
just being nice.
Exactly.
So it's so difficult. It's like what I'm learning more and more through the years that I've been in this business. It's best to just like shake your hand or
Right.
not.
You
give
can't
the
even
hug.
do that anymore.
You can't these
Right.
days. There's boundaries.
Yeah.
It's
A
knuckle.
lot.
It's
Yeah,
knuckle
I just
So, yeah, I know, right?
elbow
elbow
touching.
it
Yeah.
during COVID elbows.
Well, now we don't have to worry about it because we
No,
have social
you can't
distance.
even get near each other now.
Yeah, I know.
You know, there is
So,
that.
yeah.
There is a vulnerability that a lot of women do have. I think it's
Yeah.
1 out of 4 have been abused in some kind of way, shape, or form throughout their life. But there's also the women that will take advantage of opportunities
Definitely.
too.
Definitely.
So I love that you embrace that aspect of it, because there are misconceptions and people don't understand boundaries sometimes. If they're, I'm very touchy-feely myself. I'm a hugger.
yeah.
But there are some people that will take advantage of an opportunity. They will find a man that has a lot of money, purposely go work for him, and figure out ways that they can
Well, that's
Yeah.
yes, and
Manipulate the
there is a lot of
situation.
that, especially in America, because it's so easy to sue people here.
Oh yes.
So I mean, it's very hard for you to really define the that line of what is and what isn't. And I think that mostly you would side with women because unfortunately they are abused way more than men are. But listen, at sometimes when you say that there's a celebrity or something like that, there is a coercion or there is an extortion that, hey, listen, you know what, we can make money off this,
Right.
and then it's like, how do you, it's their word against your word. He put his arm around me, or he touched me inappropriately, and then what do? I mean,
Right.
and you were just being nice, you were being loving, and you were being a father figure maybe
Right.
to that
You
person,
never
and
know.
they never even they
That's not the way they
felt
saw
like,
it.
oh my God, he was trying to do something to me,
Yeah.
But-
Or they tell somebody else,
Right.
and that
That's the
person
problem.
sees an opportunity to capitalize
To
on a
cash
certain
in.
situation and says, "Oh no,
Or maybe
don't say anything, don't try to make
Right.
things right. Let's really
Yeah.
capitalize on
Right.
what happened to you. We're gonna milk this for everything." it's
that could
got."
even be an
Yeah.
abusive boyfriend or an
Yeah.
abusive husband,
Mhm.
and because I don't understand how women can be abused and keep going back into that abusive relationship,
A lot of
beaten
people don't.
up and black eyes and can't come to work,
Right.
and you just go right back,
Mhm.
because I think it's this feeling of insecurity. Well, what am I going to do if I don't have that?
It's-
And
yeah.
now I am unfortunately the person who's going to be the one that is the victim. So and not doing anything wrong, just being. Look, I was brought up like that. I was brought up in a Jewish home where we hug and we love and men kiss each other, and not in that way, but you know what I mean. No, we do.
That's
It's
the
like-
next show.
Yeah.
Well, welcome to America.
Well,
Happens to
on the cheek. Come on, man. You know what I'm talking
I'm
about.
just
It's like,
kidding.
Nicole, come
I
on.
shouldn't have said My bad. It's been a rough week.
Yeah. Isn't it? Gee,
It's been a
2020
rough week.
election. Goodness. We don't even go politically. Let's not
Oh, we're
even
not
go
going there.
there.
It's
Oh
just
my
been a rough
God.
week.
It's like the
People
wolf.
can be
It's like the
evil.
wolf of Wall Street. Like,
Oh, yes.
I'm not leaving.
I saw
I'm
that
not
today.
leaving.
I
Did
shared
you
that
see that one?
actually.
That's
That's
funny
going to
one.
be a speech. Did you see that?
Yeah, right.
What?
Oh
Just go
man,
watch
it's so
it
funny.
on
You have to
my
watch the movie.
Facebook.
It's crazy.
Oh no, I've seen that.
Yeah.
That
What he
movie's
says, I'm not
crazy.
leaving.
When Leo, when he gets on the microphone, he's, I'm not leaving. He
And
says
then-
other words,
yeah.
but
And then
he's
he
like,
screams,
I'm not
he says,
leaving.
I'm not
And he
leaving.
screams it, and they're gonna have to. They're gonna.
Hey, you got to get a wrecking ball to get me out of here, like that, Like,
It's so funny. I mean, there's other words, of
Yeah.
course, I would love to say. 'Cause
I
I
can
don't-
totally see that actually happening.
Yeah.
Oh, I could
Yeah.
definitely
This world is
see
crazy.
that happening.
yeah.
It really is.
So,
You
yeah.
know,
Yeah.
we're gonna do a reenactment when we come back, so
Oh,
stay tuned. We're
yay.
gonna go on break.
Yeah. But yeah, just I mean, I do feel more inclined to feel sympathy for women more so than I do men. But men do. Some of us are victims. Every
Which
now
is
and then
true.
we can be. So, and that's unfortunate because it gives you all the bad name.
Mm-hmm.
Because then when it is the truth, you don't know what it is or what it isn't.
Yeah.
And you could be victimized, and then you say, "Oh well, I know that guy, and he wouldn't do anything like that, or something like that," and then
That's always the problem.
Yes.
Somebody always knows them.
yeah,
How do
Well,
you know
it can,
them?
It can ruin someone's life. People don't realize you're ruining someone's
Right.
reputation. You're ruining their life by a total
oh,
misunderstanding.
and
And then you want to capitalize
Right.
and milk them for every dime that they have and take their whole
Absolutely.
livelihood away.
Yeah.
Well,
I mean, what you do for a living, literally, you're doing that for a living. You're doing that
Yeah.
to survive. You're doing that to pay your bills. How dare you, over something so slight, accuse somebody of something so big?
Well, I don't think
Right.
you're thinking at
something
the
like
time
that happens to
what
you.
you're doing to that
You better
person.
be sure of it.
Yeah.
I really
You know?
don't think so. And then you might after the fact think about it, but while you're doing that and you're thinking about all the money you can get, and
When you
it's
got all
just
those
like,
cheerleaders in the
Right,
background going,
yeah.
"Get them good."
yeah, exactly.
Yeah,
So
you're gonna be
it's-
set. and
it's tough. It's
take
hard, man. I
advantage
mean,
of this.
all I know is that moving forward, I have had the opportunity to be very, very cautious now,
Yeah.
especially
You
with,
learn from it.
yeah. And of course now it's Zoom classes that I do, so I'm totally distant from everybody. So
Which we're going to talk about that when we
Oh,
get back
that's
on
cool.
break.
Okay.
He has
Okay.
awesome online Zoom cooking classes,
Yeah.
and he has a new brand that you just came out.
Right, yeah,
And you have a
so,
new business that you're opening up.
love
so
it,
we're going
yeah.
to get down to the
Love it.
nitty gritty. So you
Yeah.
guys stay tuned so you can
Yeah.
see where you can check this man out.
all right, thank you.
We work our whole lives to support our families. With one accident or illness, it can all be gone in an instant. Now there's a smart, affordable way to protect your family. Go to findhealthbenefits.com and discover low-cost life insurance for as little as $2 per month. Add to that a tax-deferred annuity that can help you protect your assets and grow your money for retirement. Learn more. Go to findhealthbenefits.com or call 877-235-6094. A critical illness can strike without warning and wipe out your life savings. In fact, it's the #1 reason for bankruptcy. Find Health Benefits offers an affordable solution. Get up to $50,000 if you get cancer, stroke, or a heart attack, giving you the peace of mind to focus on getting better while the plan helps you to pay your bills and medical expenses. Learn more. Go to findhealthbenefits.com or call 877-235-6094. 66% of seniors spend more time shopping for cable TV than Medicare plans. Most say because it's just too confusing. Laws change every year. The wrong plan could cost you thousands and prevent you from seeing the doctors you want. Introducing FindHealthBenefits.com. Save time, save money, see specialists without referrals. Go to FindHealthBenefits.com or call 877-235-6094 for this informative brochure.
Society is on the edge. Let's bring them back. Edge Radio. Because truth still...
Welcome back, the Women's Empowerment segment where we're highlighting Men of the Month. We have a special guest, celebrity chef Paul Friedman today, my co-host Brooke White, and we're going to be talking about some stuff that he has up and coming. He has some really exciting things currently going on that you guys can get involved in, and you've got some brands and a new business that you're opening up. So let's first talk about your Zoom online cooking classes. How can people get in touch with you about that and give them some intricate details about it?
Sure, Nicole. First, I'd like to just start off by saying how sad it is for people who've spent their whole life creating a business, and especially the food industry. We've lost so many restaurants, so many good restaurants, and this COVID has really ruined the lives of so many people.
Definitely.
So we've been forced to find other avenues to bring income in order to compensate for the loss of people not going out to eat. And that's how I got involved with Zoom classes. There was a group of ladies that really loved what I was doing, especially when I was at the country club that I was at. And when they found out that I was no longer there, they called me up and said, "Hey, what are you doing? And we've got a bunker group, and we'd like to. We're getting bored, and do you do any cooking classes?" So I said, "Yeah, let's do a cooking class." Cool. So we landed up selecting an evening for this cooking class, and there was only going to be 6 couples. It was 12
Is that the one
people.
I showed up and your whole house was full of like
60 people arrived. You know what I did? I actually started taking $40 a person at the front door.
I would have.
Yeah.
I mean, I don't know
His
where.
whole house was packed.
I know the house was packed. I know people came from all over. So obviously the word got out, right? So, but it was supposed to be a cooking class. And I don't know how that happened, but it did. So anyway, at that event, it was so hilarious. It was so funny. But at that event, we came up with this idea. And I was always thinking that, I'd love to do a cooking tour to South Africa, take people with me. There's a winery that I'm involved with, which is known as Anura Estates. And my friend Timon Bummer and his son Lance, who run it and own it. I've always wanted to go there and do a cooking class. So I thought, well, why don't we see if we can find people who will come with me? We'll go stay on the estate because it's a beautiful estate. We'll spend 3 days there doing wine tastings, and they have cheeses. They make the cheeses and a whole bunch of other things. And the Sun crafts craft beer, and just a fantastic opportunity for me to combine the wine and create food and breakfast, lunch, and dinner, and then go into the bush and then prepare things in the bush with no materials and just trying to find things that we can get to cook with. And so with no pots, no pans, we kind of like found ways to get
How the
stones.
hell did you cook it?
Well, you got to get stones and put them together.
Oh,
and then,
no.
Yes, no. But so it was awesome. And then the animals were all around us while we were doing this. It was like
What kind of animals?
South
all of
Africa.
I don't even want to cook already. And you want me to go into South Africa
No.
with the
It's got some
animals
caveman
and with
shit
some
going on.
stones and
No, we did. It was fenced off. So I mean, but,
Okay,
but
that'll
you hear the animals.
Much
there.
better.
Yeah, no, because there's a watering hole by this beautiful. You see, I mean, there are such amazing resorts. They have this 5-star, beautiful resort
I believe it.
in the middle of nowhere, in the bush, and the animals are all around you, and it's just such an experience.
I'm
So
sure.
we landed up doing that, and about 6 couples went with me to South Africa, and we had this fantastic time.
Wow.
And
I
when
almost
everyone's
went.
coming back. Yes, you almost came. And so
wow.
coming back, everyone's saying, "Oh my God, I can't wait to tell Mary, and I can't wait to tell George, and I can't wait. We're gonna send so many people." And he's building condos and a hotel and a nice boutique hotel there. So it's a place where people who have got lots of money can buy a second home and go and stay on the winery. And so we got back on 12th of March, and lockdown was 13th of March. We barely made
Y'all
it back.
barely made it back. You were almost trapped over
You
there.
were almost trapped.
Yes. So the Zoom cooking classes came from that experience.
Mm-hmm.
And so when we got back, everything was shut down. So we couldn't continue with that thought pattern, that business venture that we were looking at. And so I began to start doing online Zoom classes, mostly for the Banco women. And then somebody heard that I was doing it through one of the ladies' husbands. And then I got a contract with one of the companies.
That's awesome.
And they have over 500 clients. And so basically what I do is I give them the ingredients to go purchase on their own. And the company is so excited because they don't have to take their clients out for dinner anymore.
Yeah.
They get to see their clients in their own kitchen. They get to see their spouses. They get to see their home, what the kitchen looks like. And there's an interaction that goes on there that's far more
Personable.
yes, than
Yeah.
taking the client out by him or herself out for dinner. And it's far less expensive to do that.
Yeah.
And people love it because it's in their own home and they're learning how to cook. And so they buy the ingredients, they get the sauces, the spices, seasonings, and wines for me. And then they have everything I have. And then we cook together. And it's such an amazing
cool.
event. Yeah, and I love doing
It's
it.
delicious too. His
Yeah.
food
Okay, I
is
might do
so
that.
good.
Yeah, so-
I might do a Zoom with you.
It's such fun.
His
And-
food is so
Thank
good.
you.
Well, I've had your food at the country club.
Oh, yes.
Last year, I've had that.
Yeah, that's right.
Yeah.
You went
Yeah.
to one of the charity
Yeah.
events there.
It was
Okay.
great.
Yeah.
I love food. So.
Yeah, but I mean, that's for like mass, like, when you do 250, 300 meals at
I
one
still
time.
love it.
It's still hot. It's not like you're at a restaurant, you're getting a plate
Yes.
where you got, each one
Yeah.
is like
a
individually
little bit more custom.
creative, where you feel like, oh, I don't know if I should actually eat this. It looks so good.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah. That's what I want. So yeah, so that's one avenue that I'm doing right now. I got an opportunity and I've had lots of opportunities to get back into the restaurant business, but the hardest thing for me is, I don't think people realize how hard the restaurant industry is, because
Oh God, yeah.
you're only as good as your last meal.
Yeah.
That's it. You have a bad experience. I mean, it's so
People
hard
won't
to
come
get you back. If you're opening a restaurant, and this is out to people who have an idea who want to, I want to give you some advice. If you're not expecting to be there 24/7, 7 days a week, then don't open it.
True.
And I'm talking about
That's
not for
true.
2 months, 3 months. I'm talking at least 2 years to
Mhm.
build it to where you want to. And then even then, if you're not there, people are going to say, well, where's Paul? Is the chef here? And everyone wants to know when it's a chef kind of like orientated business, because everyone wants to know the chef.
Yes.
Mhm.
And so if the chef comes out and he comes to your table, it's like you feel like, oh man, the chef knows me. It's like,
know
Well,
the
that's what's so
chef.
great about you. You really create an experience.
Yes.
It's not just about going to get a good meal. You've got a really good personality that you incorporate with your brand.
And you know, the thing is, you know, we get a bad reputation because it's like this. Somebody enjoys cooking and they cook at home, and grandma comes for Thanksgiving and everyone says, oh my God, you should open up a restaurant. And he said, well, I don't have any money. Grandpa said, we'll give you the money. And so they go open it and they have no idea how to run a business. And so they might be good cooks, but they don't know why after 6 months they're out of business. They can't pay their rent because they didn't do the costings right. They didn't understand the logistics of, you know, doing, you know, the day-to-day forecasting, and it's so complicated. But and don't even go into this business if you're not going to be there 7 days a week. And I'm 10 hour days.
It's very true,
10 hour
though.
days.
No, it's true. My old
It's a lot of
old
hours.
resident opened a business in front. He lived at our property and opened it in front
Yeah,
because
you-
he could
you
not
lived there.
go away from it. He
No.
was there every day.
Yeah.
Hey, Charlie.
Yeah.
So yeah,
But
Buying
not,
food, prepping
Mhm.
food, making sure everything's ran right, expediting everything. You,
No,
you
the
gotta
whole
have
thing.
everything's got to be perfect.
but this is what I've discovered over time. I've been in this business for 48 years, right? So it's not my first rodeo. I'm about to open my 63rd restaurant.
I'm so excited for him.
So yes, I am too, and
63.
I'm kind of not saying anything yet because I want it to be a surprise, but I'll slip a few things out right now. So I modeled this restaurant after the TV show The Chef's Table.
Oh.
And I was able to actually get that name, The Chef's Table. So it wasn't registered in Texas. So I registered it, so it's mine. I have that name. It's called The Chef's Table. And I'm so excited because it's going to challenge me because I'm sure people will think that the owner of that TV series is probably the person who's
doing it.
And then all my clients who know me will walk in and see me and like, oh my God, is this your place? So like, you know, so I'm really excited about that. What my challenge is here is having had so many restaurants, I've always wanted to be, and I've had many programs. I've been on television a lot. I've done Restaurant Startup. I've done
Food Network.
Yes, I've done all the Food Network stuff.
He was almost on Dancing with the Stars.
I know. I almost went on Survivor. I don't know what that had to do with it, but
Me and
anyway.
you should go on that
I
together.
know, right? So I actually got pretty far with Survivor, but you know, there's so much illegal paperwork, and my brother refused to sign it, so they said,
I'm
sorry.
not talking about Survivor, Dancing with the
No,
Stars.
that one. Oh, that we could do. That would be interesting.
You could go on there.
which
She
one?
drops it like it's hot.
Oh, on
Everything.
Dancing with the Stars?
Yeah.
She's not lying.
Anyway, keep going.
So what I was saying is that my goal in this restaurant is I'm not looking to expand because I've had an expansion in my life, and I just want this to be my last shot, and I want it to be the best restaurant in Houston. And I know it's going to be. My son is a general contractor. He's building it.
Nice.
We are completely starting from scratch. It's going to be an amazing restaurant, and I want to win a James Beard Award. That's what I want to win. That's
And I
my goal.
believe you will do that.
And so I'm going to do, you know, what I need to do to get there. But my gift is hospitality, and I love coming out to cook at people's tables. I'm actually going to have a chef table where I'll come out and cook. And that particular, that table
So
is going to be,
excited.
the menu on that table is not the menu for the restaurant. And so we're going to book that table up 3-4 months in advance. And
Wow.
so that table doesn't turn over at night. It's a one-time thing. It's an experience. It's a 5-course meal, and it's, you know, I'll have the menu set out over a period of time, and you can choose the day you want to have that menu and book that table, and we don't turn that table
I'm
over.
excited.
Yeah. So
tell everybody how they can find you.
okay. So right now, the best way for anyone to get hold of me is through Instagram, which is Chef Paul Friedman, or you can email me at chefpaulstable@gmail.com.
Nice.
That's the best way to get hold of me. That's chefpaulstable@gmail.com. If you email me and you say that you saw me on the Edge Radio TV, I will invite you to the pre-opening tastings, the wine tastings, and the food tastings.
Exclusive.
So
I will be there.
I would
Dressed to
suggest
impress.
go ahead and give me
Don't
an
be
email.
showing up all janky now.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I'm going to be there. So.
Good. Well, thanks, Brooke. So yeah, go ahead and email me, and I will make sure that I put you on the list. I do at least 2 or 3 weeks.
Nice.
but don't think you're not going to have to do something, because when you get there, I'm going to give you a sheet of paper to fill out, and I want you
He's
to
gonna be
criticize.
on a scavenger hunt.
Yeah.
Great.
No, I just want
I
you
gotta
to-
work.
Looking for rocks to put on the sun.
And the reason why I'm doing this is because I don't want to invite my friends and family, because they'll just say, it was great, but they won't tell me why. Okay, I want to know what was wrong with it. I want to know what they didn't like. I want to know if it's
You're
possible.
brave.
Very brave.
And so I really wanted to be, just be candid as you can with me.
Yes.
Because I know that if the public likes what I'm doing, and the people that I'm inviting, they'll be honest with me, because I want them to see the success, and I want them to be a part of, like, I was there, I helped him, he won the James Beard Award because of me.
That's
I told him,
right.
you know what I mean?
That's gonna be me.
And so I will say that a collective way of getting that James Beard Award is to have people involved in your success. And
That's
the
right.
best way to do it is because of the
To
hospital.
care.
Yes, and
To
I do
care
care.
about their
I do
insight.
care. I do care.
Mhm.
And I'm one of those. I hate failure. And I swear, I
Same.
just hate failure. I feel like I'm President Trump in a way, because I don't
Same.
think he's gonna go away very, very quietly.
You're
But-
so passionate about what you do, and you're
I do,
so
yeah.
charismatic. You have such a fun-loving personality. I've always enjoyed working with you before, and I
Thank
will
you.
enjoy continuing to do your PR as we move forward.
Yeah.
You guys stay tuned. When we come back, we're going to have author Ramon Sosa. Y'all stay tuned.
The Natural Nation Network is really about taking control of your health physically, spiritually, emotionally, even intellectually, because there's so much out there in misinformation. There's a lot of people now that are suffering from all sorts of diseases that they really wouldn't have to suffer for if they had better information. And that's what we're here to do. Provide information that can save lives.
The mind and the body are totally connected.
Health can be really serious, and sometimes we just have to lighten it up a little bit while we're still providing substantive information.
And my sort of mantra on the salsa dance floor is kind of similar. I tell somebody, if you make a mistake twice, it becomes a move. Okay,
Tune into Natural Nation every Tuesday at 11 a.m.
Are you a small business owner concerned about the downturn in the economy? Top business leaders like Mattress Mac and Warren Buffett will tell you that now is the time to promote your business more than ever. People need your services. Your business needs an edge. Learn about special advertising packages for small businesses right here on Edge Radio. Find out more, give us a call at 281-744-0446. That's 281-744-0446. Edge, because truth still matters.
Welcome back to the Women's Empowerment segment. We have our second man of the month here, author Ramon Sosa. At first, I want you guys to get to know him a little bit as a person. He's a remarkable man, and he's made tremendous leaps and bounds in our community, helped several different children out, become men themselves, and he's huge in the boxing arena. So tell our audience a little bit more about yourself.
I started boxing at a very young age in Puerto Rico. That's where I was born. About 7 years old, I started boxing. Been around boxing all my life. I love the sport. I love the camaraderie. I love the the work of ethic of it, and it's just been boxing has been very good to me. And I had over 100 and something amateur fights. Excuse me. So I was very active in the amateurs. When I moved down here to the United States, we moved from the East Coast of New York to Houston when I was a teenager. I kept with the boxing, and I've always been. Ever since when I was 17, I was in high school. And I was a senior. I graduated from Deer Park High School.
Wow. Okay.
Yeah, and I was and I became a professional boxer when I was 17 years old.
Wow.
Yeah, I tried to make the Olympic team. I didn't make the 1984 Olympic team. Therefore, I just became a pro. Things didn't go my way. I went back to Puerto Rico. I was a pro with a contract. Things didn't go my way, so I just the business side of it was just not for me. So I came back to the States. And I decided, my calling was to train. Train. I love training, boxing.
Yeah.
And I started, working with a few amateur boxers in other people's gym. And I said, you know what, this is something that I love doing. So I decided I opened my own nonprofit, which was called Young Prospects Boxing. And through that organization, I have been able to help a lot of young men through the sport of boxing. Young men that are at risk. And when you think at risk, you think kids that are in the streets or in gangs and all that stuff. But there's also kids that at risk through the kids that are in school that get picked on, kids that are overweight, kids, those type of kids. I saw a lot of those kids that came through my program, and I would also go to schools and do after school programs. And mothers, actually the parents, would just loved it that their kids, their self-esteem and everything, even their grades would go up because they didn't feel embarrassed or
they had
afraid.
Confidence.
Definitely.
Bullying is so big.
It's horrible.
Bullying is so big. It's such a major problem.
Exactly.
And how parents can encourage it and they don't even realize by the way they talk about other people and by the way they treat people right in front of their children. They don't realize how much they're influencing their kids to act like that.
Yeah. And thank God that I was able to help out a lot of kids through the school programs. And when I was living in the Humboldt School District, and then I moved to the Spring and Woodlands School District, I was able to keep my program going after school, and also my nonprofit. It was it did very well. There was a lot of kids, boys and girls, that went through my program, and they were very successful. And there's some that in service now that they were able to join the service, and they sent me pictures, congratulating me and thanking me for helping them when they were going through all those different kinds of problems.
I love that.
Yeah.
I love that.
That's
so,
amazing.
It's not just the underserved community kids that need it too. It's sometimes a kid that's just getting picked on that needs a voice.
Exactly.
I love that.
I do too.
He's got such a good heart. You know what I mean? He's such a good man. So, where was your location at for Young Prospects?
It was in the Woodlands and on Rayford Road.
Okay.
I had a split. I had a big gym in the back, women's boxing and fitness center in the front. I had my nonprofit. It was a strip center in the front that I had for the kids, and it worked out pretty good. The kids. I had an after-school program too, where kids would get dropped off, and they would have a snack. We would do homework first. They would get help with homework. They would work out, and then the parents would pick them up. And by the time the parents would pick them up, they would have their homework done. They would have worked out. All they had to do was go home, take a shower, go to bed.
Wow.
So you're in the midst of having this business, and you're helping all these children, and you're making waves, and you're really getting involved in the community, and you're making a really good name for yourself, and you're giving back, right? You're in a really good place in your life.
Yes, I was.
Tell me when you met your wife, and how she got involved with the business.
This is actually my second marriage when I met Lulu, which her first name is Maria. I met her in the Woodlands. I met her the year about 2009. This is after almost 10 years from my first divorce, and I was father of 3 at the time. I'm still father of 3, but she was also divorced. Recently, had moved down here from Mexico City. She was a mother of 2, and we met in the year 2009.
Where'd you guys meet at?
In the Woodlands. There was a place in the back of the Woodlands. It was a restaurant. I think it's called Mi Luna. In the back of the Woodlands, it was a Mexican restaurant. And then after a certain time, they turned into they played live music. And I love socks. I love to dance. I love that stuff. So that night they were playing live music. And I just happened to walk in and I saw her on the dance floor. I'm like, whoa.
That
You know, she-
physical
Yeah,
attraction.
she-
That's
yeah.
what gets you
That's
guys.
exactly
Yeah,
what
it is.
gets
See,
you.
you can't see the crazy when they're dancing. As a matter of fact, I almost kind of looking for the crazy. She's a wild one.
Yeah, exactly. You know, and, I'll be honest. The men are very visual. Men
Visual.
are very
We were
visual.
just
I mean,
talking
that's
about
the way it is. I mean, that's the way our brains.
So that's when you knew she was the one. The light was beaming
Oh,
down on her.
yeah.
She was twisting and turning.
Salsa.
Yeah, and then she
Is that
kept
what
dancing. The
happens?
thing was cool because she kept dancing with this guy. I was like, man, she ever gonna stop dancing with this guy? And that was with.
About challenge.
Yeah, and then the guy was
It
in
was a
that
challenge.
attract. I was like, what the hell is she sitting? I don't know. I
I
just
look
didn't-
better than him.
Yeah,
Watch
yeah,
this.
exactly. I'm over here looking
Yeah.
nice with my little sweat and
Yes.
looking, sharp and stuff. But I didn't pay much attention. So anyway, I just lost her in the crowd. And so she walks in front of me out of nowhere, and she steps on my toe with like 4-inch heels.
Oh, that's when you should have known right there.
That was straight crazy.
That was
She probably
foreshadowing.
did it on purpose.
She claims, she said later on too, after we talked and everything, that we started dating. That I did. I was looking for you because I know she kind of noticed me or whatever when I walked in. She claimed that she noticed me when I walked into the place and told her friends later on, like, "Watch, you see that guy that walked in."
Watch this. I'm gonna get him real good with my
Oh,
four
And that's
inch.
what
man.
happened. Look, she
I wouldn't
stepped on
do
my
that
toe, and
sound.
I'm not gonna
Did
lie,
she do it on purpose?
She said she wanted to get my attention.
I knew it. I told you. I told you.
She-
I could write the book on
She-
men and women.
See what I'm
She
saying?
walked by
That
me
should have
and
been a
stepped,
big
and
red flag
I
right
was in
there.
pain. I was like, I bent over.
Oh my
I had
god,
But let me
told
tell
that
you.
you
is
something.
so
It doesn't
crazy.
shock me. I've seen crazy on
And then
both
when I
sides.
get up, I'm like, my
We're going
first.
somewhere with this, guys. This woman had a huge impact on his life, and this is why he wrote
Yes.
this book.
And
So we're
then
going somewhere with
when
it.
I get up and I see us, all I can think was, like to dance. And then the sky opened up.
God.
And we danced the night away.
So was
basically.
the relationship good at first? I mean,
You know what they call I'm not gonna lie, she was like perfect for me because everything that I had gone through. I explained that at that time I was traveling a lot with boxing around the nation, and I had boxer, pro and amateur that I traveled a lot with. So I didn't stay a lot in town, but she was okay with it. She knew that that was my business, and she told me her background with her kids and her son, her oldest was the son was going through some issues. He's never had a father figure. Kind of she knew my background, what I did with kids, so she figured, this man can help my son in some kind of way. So the first 3 years were perfect. This is like what you call a perfect woman. She massages, manicure,
she was
pedicure.
the narcissist.
She
That's
was
what they
the-
do at first.
she
You were
was
such a big
She
deal.
loved my kids. She was around my parents, my family, at family gatherings. If I had a cup with a drink, I mean,
It was never empty.
Never empty, exactly. And food. I mean, she was.
Oh.
It was like
She
That's
was
a red
on that
flag, too.
audition, boy.
That's a
Yeah.
red flag too.
Yeah.
When it's too good.
Exactly. But when you're a man, you're like this, like. You don't see it. With those blindfolds. Blindfolds. And then you know what? What's so
Cleaning
crazy?
the house with lingerie on.
Yeah. No.
Totally.
But
Red
she
flag.
did. But I tell you what, when I came in from wherever I came in, she did come in. She was
How'd I
always
know
dressed
that?
up. She was always dressed up nice. She never was. And when I came home, and she was always dressed. She was all she did was work out all day. When we had the business, so
That's nice.
her thing was like to look good all day and train people, and that was it. And her thing, when I got home, she was like perfectly clean from top to bottom, looking nice. It was always perfect. And the dream,
The
and
dream,
then
living
I had
the
guys,
dream.
and I had friends of mine. Like, man, how you find somebody like this? Like guys were like,
Like, man,
Just
she
wait.
purposely spiked my toe with her heel. And it was
You're lucky
love
she
at
didn't
first
take it off.
sight.
so you have to be a good dancer. Man. You got to know how
No
to
kidding,
dance.
a 4-inch
That,
spiked
you
heel.
know that
she
did not feel
purposely-
good. I bet it
Oh, I
hurt
know
for
it
a couple
did.
days.
But
She's like, watch this, Susan. Bam!
the throbbing went away when you started dancing and everything. So it's cool.
Oh,
Yeah.
my beer.
I'll be back. Conquer time.
Oh my God. That's just nuts. So little did you know all of the things that were going to happen. So you'd say the first 3 years was just
Perfect.
perfect.
Yeah.
When did things start changing?
Well, let me give you a little, go back to when we first got married. So another red flag. Right after I met you, we had a small marriage, a celebration. We got married at the courthouse in Conroe. Montgomery comes from Montgomery. But it was cute, nice, and then we were going to go have a little celebration at home with our family, and just something small. her mother had come down from Mexico City, and her sisters and and nephews, whatever. And right after I had a little celebration at the courthouse, her mother walks up to me and whispers in my ear in Spanish, "Now she's your trouble,"
Oh man!
and walks away.
Red flag.
And I'm like,
Red
I
flag.
can never forget that.
Now she's your trouble. Holy crap! What does that sound
now
like in
she's your problem. Now
Spanish?
she's your problem. So she's your problem.
How's that sound in Spanish?
Ahora es tu problema.
Oh man, that
Problemo?
Problema.
See, I got that part.
Ahorita problema. Problema.
Problem.
Big problema.
Mucho
problemo.
Yeah. So, I'm thinking.
You're like, yeah, I'm
okay.
scarred right here already on my foot.
But it was,
Even stitches.
and then another, right after because she was here on a visitor's visa from Mexico, so of course I'm an
she
American
wants her
citizen.
citizenship.
A week after we got married, she was already, doing all the paperwork, and we got to do this. And I said, well, we're gonna go on vacation. No, we got to take. I don't want to spend a lot of money on that. This is gonna cost a lot of money. So after.
So she's already getting you to save your money.
Yeah, she's
Oh my goodness.
She became American citizen. Her kids became American citizen. Her mother became American citizen because of me. So and to this day, they're all American citizens because of me.
All right, so we're gonna go on break, and when we come back, you guys are gonna get the nitty gritty to this woman and her story and the hell that she put him through, and how you overcame it. Y'all stay tuned. It's good stuff.
Five, four, three, two, one, zero, ignition, liftoff.
Don't push me because I'm close to the edge.
I'm trying not to lose my head.
Hey, this is the Talk About Unity show where I bring the talk.
And I bring the unity.
And together we talk about unity. Unity is what matters.
Come on.
And right now in our country, that's what we've got to do. So we do that here at Talk About Unity on the Edge Radio Network. Be with us every week.
It's going to be awesome. It always is. And I tell you what, the more we seek first to understand, then be understood, we make progress.
And we like to do that. And that's why everybody's on the brink. We love what we do at Edge Radio because everybody's on the edge. We bring them back from the edge and we bring the unity. So we're just glad the Edge Radio Network every Tuesday morning, 10 a.m. Talk About Unity because here at Edge Radio Network, truth still matters.
All right, guys, welcome back. We're going to continue on with this story. We have author Ramon Sosa here today talking about I Walked on My Own Grave book that he wrote. It's made world press, Inside Edition, Telemundo, CNN, ESPN. It's good stuff. So we were getting down to the nitty gritty of the story here. So you have your wife working at your business. She's starting to show more red flags. Her mother's already warned you about her.
Right after the marriage.
She's in the office, right? She's
Yeah.
on the phone with somebody, and one of your prospects, one of your young boxers, can hear her talking. So tell the audience what happened.
Yeah, this happened around the year 2015. Yeah, 2015. It was by this time we had a business together, Woodlands Boxing and Fitness. Very successful business. We're doing very, very well. But our marriage was on the rocks, by the 2015. We decided to go through a divorce. Things were not working out. The divorce was very difficult.
Right.
And then things were not going her way. She wanted the business, the big, she wanted everything. Just leave me in the streets, and I walked in, and I said, no, it doesn't work like that here in the United States.
Or Texas.
So I made it, so it was difficult. So it got to the point where she was going through so much stuff, and and that she didn't know what else to do. So there was a young man in my gym named Mundo that I had mentored probably 10 years prior, and at another gym that I was working at, but he was with me now. And this young man was an ex-gang member. He had gone through all kinds of issues.
Changed his life.
I kind of I mentored him and I helped him. A very great person to this day. So he was working in my gym, from helping me in my gym, and he just at that time I wasn't at the gym that night, and Lulu was there with her daughter and him and some other clients, and he just happened to walk into a conversation that Lulu, my ex-wife, was having with her daughter.
Okay, so she
in
was
the office, in my office in the gym, and he walks in and he overhears them talking about what the young girl telling Lulu, her daughter, that there's a kid in the gym that has a family in Mexico that kills people or chops people up for money. And Lulu responds by
average mother-daughter conversation.
Yeah, just the average, and then Lulu responds by, maybe we can use them.
Oh my!
And Mundo kind of like his ears went up and I said, whoa, what are you talking about? I need to be careful who you're talking, what you talk about, because you don't know who's walking by, and you know what's going on. So later on that evening, Mundo catches Lulu by herself, and kind of because he knew we were going through a difficult divorce already. So he walks up to her, it's by herself, and said, "Hey Lulu, what's going on? Is this about Ramon?" And she goes, "Yeah, it's about him. I wish he would just go away or take him away. I wish just." And he goes, "Wait." And let me tell you, what he said next is the reason that I'm here alive today. Because he told her, "You talking about this? Like go away like this?"
Right.
The pistol sign. And she said, "Yes, go away like that." And what he said, "You know what? I got the people that can do the job."
So he tricked her.
I got goosebumps.
Yeah,
he saved his life.
And then saved my life on the spot right there. Because then the next day he calls me and tells me I never forget I was driving, and he tells me, "Hey, Pops, this lady wants to kill you." And I thought he was joking around.
Oh yeah, anybody would.
You're like, "Oh yeah, I know. She's really pissed. We're getting a divorce."
Yeah, he knew what was going on. Yeah, he thought it was joke. It was a joke.
What?
And I was like, "What are you talking about?"
Who wouldn't?
I quit messing around, quit saying jokes, because we like to joke around sometimes, but this wasn't a joke. He goes, No, Pops. I've seen that look on people's eyes when they want to kill somebody.
Yeah.
She's for real. So the plan was, he said, what I'm going to do, I'm going to start meeting. I'm supposed to meet with her, and I'm going to record all the conversations and see how far she's willing to go with this, and then take it to the police. So we did our own undercover investigation.
Yeah, he was the undercover.
Yeah.
So wasn't she literally texting the phone that you had, thinking you were the hitman?
The way that happened was that Mundo came up with the idea after we had so much conversations between them two, together. He said, "What I'm going to do now, I'm going to introduce her to the two hitmen, which was Paco and John Boy. These are fake names that he came up with." But those were the two hitmen. So he said, "What we're going to do, you're going to get you a track phone, a fake phone, basically. And I'm going to text in front of her with these two hitmen. But the two hitmen is going to be you." So she didn't know the whole time she was texting. They were texting me.
Genius.
She's describing to him how she wants him killed.
Oh my!
Make sure you take his watch.
Yeah.
All kinds of stuff.
Yeah. They had a whole plan on how they were going to kill me, and also, but when we got the money, because he texted me, supposed to be the hitman, saying like, "Look, we need $200 for the dirty gun." And she said, "Okay, I got it." She gave him the money, and when we had the money, all the conversation.
That's all you need.
That's all I thought.
That's all you need.
That's what you thought.
That's what I thought we needed. So we took all that information, took it to the police, and in the Woodlands, Constable, Precinct 3, and they were like, "Whoa, we have never heard anything like this before."
I believe that.
And this has never happened around here before.
It used to be a movie.
Oh, it'll probably be a show. They have that on certain channels.
So they came up with they brought in the sheriffs, the constables, they brought FBI, they brought all the different authorities together to put a plan together, because they knew that she needed it back. She wanted somebody to
I am
back.
so.
It's so crazy
to hear it,
I know, isn't it nuts?
I mean, I've watched tons of stuff about this.
Well, and she had a total.
You lived it.
Yeah, she had a total scheme of defamation of character too. So she would, because they were still staying in the same house, they were on two different levels.
Mm-hmm.
So he would act like he was sleeping, and of course, you probably slept with one eye open. Jesus, because what if she planned on taking upon herself one day?
Yeah, seriously.
I mean. Snap. And she would put all these like empty alcohol bottles and stuff around him while he was sleeping, and take pictures so that she could talk shit about him after he died. so that people wouldn't even worry about that he was killed.
Yeah.
They would think that he was involved in all this bad stuff. Maybe you were, you know,
That's
had
straight-
alcoholism
Yeah.
and you weren't living the
she
right
totally
life.
ruined my business with a nonprofit. One of my biggest sponsor in the Woodlands was an oil company. They would sponsor my nonprofit. She wrote a letter to them or emailed them saying that I was a abuser, that I was an alcoholic, that I was embezzling money. So they cut
They cut the cords with them.
They cut the funding. Yeah.
Can you imagine? He even got arrested out of his own home one day, and the cops knew he didn't do anything wrong.
But
and so, yeah, I mean, this book, guys, is so
explains it
good.
all.
You guys have to get this book. There's so much more in here. He went through hell, and you were such a good person. You know, and you had such a passion to take care of those kids, and for her to come in and just demolish that just because she wanted all the money.
Well,
they're
it's
getting a
true,
divorce.
Yeah, but you know, I'm gonna just put this out there. People like her, men and women like that, they pick us. Because they know
They're
what they can get away with.
opportunists.
They're opportunists, and
That's
she
right.
knew the first time she
Oh,
saw
she
you
was
what
good.
she could probably get
Yes,
away with
I brought it up to her.
financially and all that stuff.
It got to the point where I brought it
She's
up
a
to her where we're
narcissist.
just like, look, are
An
you
evil
with me
one.
because of the money, because of
Exactly.
being an American citizen?
There's all.
This is
there's
how she
all of
answered
it.
her thing. She
Well,
was
that
like-
right there.
She would say, me? Look at me. I can get any man I want.
Oh.
Look at me. I have men I met a bunch of men that were very, very, very wealthy. And I didn't want to go. I chose you. You know why? Because I love you.
Okay, narcissist, sit down. Seriously, that's exactly
How
what
many
narcissists
feet did
say.
you step on that night?
I mean,
sister?
seriously, I would love to know. I bet someone's missing a toe.
To the point where I had to fake my death.
Seriously, I just can't believe
That's-
this.
that was-
Yeah, there's so much more in here, guys.
Oh,
so tell our
wow.
audience how they can find you and how they can get this book right here.
The book is available in all major bookstores, Amazon. If they don't have it, they can order it for you. It's a great read. I mean, it has gotten great reviews from all over the world.
Yeah.
I've done a lot of interviews, and everybody that has read it has given great reviews, and it's a page turner.
Yeah,
And that's what I
definitely.
wanted.
I'm
because,
sure
you know,
it is.
once you finish one
Yeah.
chapter, you have to like.
It's
oh, I
real
gotta
life,
finish
you know, like
yeah.
it's not
Yeah, this is
fake.
good
This
stuff.
is real
And I
stuff.
You
hope
can't
that
make this shit
whoever
up.
reads my book. My thing is like I want to help men and women that have gone through this kind of
Well,
stuff.
exactly, because there's
That-
men and women that go
it
through
happens.
this
It
stuff.
happens to both of us.
Mhm.
It happens to both of us.
It does, and that's one of the reasons why I had you on the show today, because I think it's very, very important for men to have a voice too.
Yeah.
And especially such a good man as yourself. And I'm so glad that you found success, and I'm so proud of you and your book. And
Same.
Thank
it
Thank
was
for
so
having
nice
me.
to have you on the show today. We really appreciate your
Yes.
time. So you guys check it out. I walked on my own grave. How can people get a hold of you? Are you on
Social
Facebook,
media,
Instagram?
Facebook, social media, Instagram, Ramon Sosa. They call me the real Ramon Sosa.
I love it.
'Cause this is
Okay.
the real Ramon
I
Sosa.
love it.
So what's in the future for you? Do you have any plans?
Yeah, we got a movie script out there. We're gonna see what happens.
You need
with
an
it.
extra?
So I've been approached to see what happens with it. It's a great story. I do speeches. I've been around different parts
Yeah.
of the world doing speeches, and I
That's
take.
awesome.
And it's what
So
I
if you
do.
guys ever have a men's conference and you want a speaker, hit him up. He'd be
Yes.
There you
happy
go.
to speak for you.
Thank you.
All right. Well, thank you guys so much for watching. Stay tuned for next week, and we'll see you then. Bye.
Thank you.
Bye.